My brows look so good.
Are
Like,
you just admiring yourself right now?
yes,
I
the
mean, they do look
lighting.
good.
Thank you. The lighting, like the
Hmm.
vibes, I'm here for it. They
You
should
here
call
for the
this,
jungle vibes?
yeah, but they should call this the brow hour.
I'm not changing the name of our show
That's
just because
fine.
you have a good eyebrow day for one day.
That's okay. But welcome to the jungle hour.
Welcome, everybody. We have kind of a day planned. We don't have a normal day where it's just one topic like we've had last couple episodes.
We're gonna take it more chill today.
Hmm. Actually, this episode is going to be the first double digits. This will be episode number 10.
Let's
So
go.
go us. We did a cupcake for episode 5. We don't have a
Yeah.
cupcake for episode 10, sadly. But we've had a lot of growth. I'll say that.
Hmm.
I think we've learned a lot about, like, I think we talk too fast. I think that's an issue we both
Yeah.
have.
And talking over each other, but we're starting to get the hang of it. We're learning together, so it's a journey and we're glad you're here with us.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of times that we'll pause and there's a slight delay between our filming. So that slight delay makes us think, oh, they're done talking, but they were
Hmm.
just taking a breather. There is some growth, though, that I'd like to address on where you can watch our show because
Ooh.
I've done some expanding in terms of the platforms available. So I'm just going to pull those up. Obviously, the typical is you're going to be watching this on YouTube. That is my hope for where the main demographic is of people. But this is going to take a minute because I got to open a lot of tabs.
He has it
This
so
one,
nicely organized.
not that one.
Everything.
There's one that I'm trying to get rid of the link because there's something weird about like where it takes you, and it's kind of annoying me. I
Okay.
think I got them all pulled up now, though.
Sounds a little mysterious. What do you mean it's weird where it takes you?
Well, it's like so, and I still have a cough. Um, there is a good amount of platforms that are audio listeners only. And
Mm-hmm.
a thing that I see a lot of podcasts do is they'll address the audio listener because typically for a podcast on YouTube, you'd have visuals, you'd have something
Yep.
going on. So then the audio listeners, you'd say for our audio listeners, and then you'd give a closed caption of what's going on or
Mm-hmm.
describe video as they would call it. So I think that's something Lyn and I have to learn is not everyone is watching us. Some people might be listening to us. So we have
Yeah.
to say for the audio listeners, and then we must explain what just happened. So for the audio listeners, at the start of this episode, Lyn was leaning into her camera and admiring the work she did with her makeup on her eyebrows. And they
Look
do, in
pretty good.
fact, look stunning.
Thank you.
However, simplest way to find all our information on no, not like that, easiest way to find all of the viewing and listening options is on our link tree. It's in the description of I think all of our social medias, and then obviously Instagram and TikTok is where we have the most going on. We have some forms, they're for the future, but you can fill them out if you're interested. um, Watching or listening options, we have YouTube, Spotify for podcasters, Spotify. We have podcast or Pocket Casts is another one that also
Never
has
heard
an
of that.
R. It's another platform,
Okay.
and we love all the streaming platforms available to us, right, Lindsay?
Oh, yes, we do.
We have Pocket Casts, we have Overcast, we have
Ooh.
iHeartRadio, which I didn't know they did podcasts, which is very exciting to see. Recently I was able to get Apple Podcast figured out, which is something I was very excited to do. So finally, because that's when I listened to podcasts when I was on internship last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I listened to my shows if I was
Yeah.
in the office. And
I
finally,
remember you were trying
Amazon
to get
Music.
that. Yeah, I remember you were trying to get the Apple one for like a hot minute, so it took a
Hmm.
while, but
Yeah,
we did it.
yeah. The
Braden
biggest
persisted.
exactly the issue with the Apple Podcast stuff was it said you needed an Apple account, and for that, I just was not sure how to do it, like not make it myself because I didn't want it to be my ID. I wanted it to be like a company ID. I think
Yeah,
that's like
like
the
the
only way.
brand.
Yeah, like the brand, the
Hmm.
business. But I found that there's a way to make it my account, but then have only the Jungle Hours email visible, which is very helpful. So that was great. But yeah, we're expanding. And yeah, like Lynn said, we're learning. We're doing our best. We did a photo shoot as well recently, and we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
So our thumbnails are a little bit more dynamic and a little more fun. And we're looking at ideas for like improving the thumbnail because we
Hmm.
don't want it to be too constricted.
Yeah, so I know I'm gonna start working on some ideas here and there, um, but sometimes the creative block comes, sometimes it goes, so it just depends on the day. But we're getting there, so we hope you all stick around, and hopefully we'll come out with that new thumbnail sooner or later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your home state, Lindsay. Let's talk about Florida because it's been a
Yeah.
few weeks now since this happened when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
You had a hurricane come through. Oh shoot,
M-
what was the name of it? Milton.
Milton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was Hurricane Milton for your area?
It was kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Um, we weren't expecting it to be like too bad. I'm more inland, so no worries about like flooding or storm surge, but the wind was crazy. It actually knocked down part of my tree into my front yard, and luckily my brother's car wasn't there, but if it was, it would have gotten hit. Um, a bunch of roof tiles throughout the neighborhood, branches, my neighbor's fence went down. I know my grandma, she lost her roof. Like,
Grandma.
no. But yeah, it was pretty rough, not really a good time. I know closer to the ocean, like on the coast, like that's where it received a lot of damage and destruction because of the storm surge. But yeah, it was kind of brutal, but we're all safe here. It's been almost a month since it happened.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but it's kind of crazy.
I think this was the worst of the damage that I've seen in Tampa. It's a
Hmm.
news building that got hit because a crane got knocked over. So
Yeah.
on the plus side, at least it wasn't residential, so no individual people got hurt, no families got hurt. I imagine the office building would have been emptied, and especially in like this higher section, I can't see people being there. So
Hmm.
fingers crossed, nothing did happen to people there.
Yeah, I know Tropicana Field in St. Pete, which is the baseball stadium for the Rays. That was crazy. The whole entire roof was blown off.
What's the name
But
of it again?
Tropicana Field, but it's also like a fabric cover, I think. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what it looks
this?
like. Yeah.
Oh no.
They were actually supposed to have workers staged there to fix the power, and then they decided to move them last minute. I think it was like power workers and National Guard, and then they're like, oh, let's move them. So good thing they did because the roof is like gone.
What would have been the benefit of keeping people in more or less a not so safe space, very open, and as you can
Yeah,
see from the photo, very much ripped apart
yeah.
area just to restore power for a non-residential space.
Well, it wasn't like to restore power for a non-residential space. Like that's where they would all stage, so it'd become like a shelter because all the hotels were
Mm,
kind of filled up in the area.
that
So when
makes more sense.
other people come from other states to help us out after the storm, they kind of stay in one centralized area. But yeah, that was not the best idea for there.
No. Did you also? I mean, you know about
Oh
this.
yeah,
It's fairly close to you, the sinkhole.
yeah.
I got to be more specific because clearly you guys get a lot of them. Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, this one was wild. It's about 5 to 10 minutes away from my gym, actually.
Oh no.
And yeah, it's pretty much in the middle of the road. It cuts off the whole entire community.
Yeah, it
Um,
looks like it'd be a one lane, but then you're running the risk of if you apply too much load, you'll have shear failure.
I don't want that.
Sorry, I honestly just got out of a geotechnical class, and my whole brain is just focused on like when something fails in the soil.
Yeah.
It's
How
complicated.
is university going for you? I know we haven't talked about that in a few episodes.
It's going.
It's going.
I am. I'm like kind of in the midterm season. I want to say
Mm-hmm.
because like midterm season would be between weeks 7 to 9 roughly, or maybe even 10 if like some classes. I don't know.
Yeah.
My classes, it's interesting. Two of them are more report focused and they're like group work.
Mm-hmm.
I have the most persistent cough since I got here. I'll say
Oh,
that as well. University flu sucks.
not the
Um,
best.
um, I had a shit midterm yesterday when we filmed
Oof.
this. Wow, I got humbled on it, and I know some people that said they didn't even finish all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of reassuring that it's like, oh, I'm not just an idiot. It's kind of like we all kind of got screwed on it. Two other classes, they have quizzes that are like this week, that week, and then exam. They're not like a midterm, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice because it kind of breaks up the information and more, it makes it more digestible.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my classes, I've just had like so many issues with like the way that the class is structured, the way that the lectures are done is just
Mm-hmm.
such a headache. I have another class and I think a lot of courses should do what this guy's doing. It is like a true engineer style of
Yeah.
how to learn in the real world. Mm. So for him, he has tasks that are 2 weeks long. So
Mm-hmm.
task one would go through week two, and you'd submit the first half of it. Next week, you'd submit the full task after you got feedback. So in that way, it's like, okay, here's some understanding, put down some knowledge. Okay, here's where you can improve it, and then you
Yeah.
want to do more. So then the next week, you submit the full thing, and then you get a better grade because you also
Oh.
learned how to improve. Next week after that, new task, same structure, first half, feedback, do the full thing. And you get to resubmit the first half, which is good.
Oh, that's awesome. I like
Mm-hmm.
that style.
So it's kind of like a consulting firm, which is
Mm-hmm.
every time I talk about engineering and think about engineering, it's always a consulting firm. It's
Yeah.
always a group of people that are tasked with a job that we bid for, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that makes so much more sense. That it's like, okay, tutorial of week one, you're going to start a project. Tutorial of week two, you're going to finish it. Tutorial of week three, new project. Next week, finish that project, and so on and so forth. I've never seen the benefit of making a quiz or a test for a lot of sectors, in all honesty, but
Mm-hmm.
especially not in engineering. Because at no point am I forced to look at a piece of paper and say, well, my brain tells me this, so I must write it down. Every single situation I've had in the real world, because I actually got real world experience
Yep.
on my internship, every single time it was talk you get to talk to your superiors, you get to do some research online, you get to
Mm-hmm.
read through your manual, you get to look at previous projects, you can call people, you can email people. Like there are so many resources in the real world.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if I'm a student, I'm not even an intern. When I'm an
Mm-hmm.
intern, I'm the not like bottom of the barrel because that seems like kind of degrading, but
Right.
I'm lower on the scale of like knowledge and power and seniority, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense because I don't even have my iron ring. So
Right.
like I can't really do anything about that.
Yeah.
But like if they're
I
going to treat students the same way they want to treat interns, they should
mm-hmm.
teach and assess us the same way that an internship does.
Yeah, I definitely agree because I feel like it's hard going into the workforce or going into an internship while you're still actively learning, or maybe you're just fresh out of school,
Mm-hmm.
and what you were taught or how you were taught, it makes no sense
Mm-hmm.
when you go out and you're like, how am I supposed to do this? Like, they didn't teach me it. So, what your professor's doing in regards to like giving you a task and then you get to resubmit it with the first half, everything like that, I think it's a good way because not only are you using your research, but you're actively learning and you're putting that knowledge to the test. which is really
Exactly.
cool.
Exactly. Yeah. And like that, I would translate to the real world as if you like submitting it for the first week, getting feedback, and then submitting it the second week. That's
Hmm.
kind of similar to when I was on internship. A lot of times I would do my work, like I would be given a task for like designing a building for something, and then I would because I'm it's work. I got to be a
Yeah.
little confidential, so I'm going to be a little vague with my explanation.
Yeah.
But I'd be given a task, complete it, make the design, give it to my immediate superior, which would be
Hmm.
like a guy who has his PN or someone who's been there for a couple of years. He looks at it, and if there's any mistakes, he gives it back to me. I correct it based off his feedback, resubmit it, then it goes to the client. So at no point am I going straight to the client because again, I'm the intern. I don't know everything. I just know
Right.
what I'm told to do, and if there's a mistake, we got to fix that.
Hmm.
So like the slight translation for school would be like, okay, if you make a mistake on the first one, you're going to get a penalty. You're going to get a 70, you're going to get an 80, whatever the hell. But the next submission, you know what to do. And you may make a mistake again, so you may get another deduction, but it'll be better than the first time if you put in the effort.
Nice.
And like the two ideas I had was either so just every class does that because or something similar
Hmm.
because like structures is different than geo, which is different than mechanics, which is different than chemistry, yada yada. The crazier idea I had, and it's very crazy,
Ooh, super crazy.
every class lasts 2 weeks. You are only in one class at a time. Those classes are 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, whatever the prof
Hmm.
prefers. Like give them some flexibility for that. Um, and you are assessed over that 2 week period in a more not efficient but like expedited manner. Like you
Yeah.
are just rapidly put through knowledge, put it down, knowledge, put it down, etc., etc., etc. That would get complicated in terms of scheduling. Well, what if someone wants to take hydraulics and environmental studies but they're only offered week 3 and 4? How would you
Hmm.
be able to give them both classes? So like that's the part where I'm like, okay, yeah, this isn't
Yeah.
perfect. But at least it gives students the ability to be like, okay, I'm in a structures consulting firm. I'm thinking of structures. I am only thinking of structures. You finish your internship, which is this 2 week period.
Yeah.
You move on to the geotech firm and you do geotech stuff. Move on, and so on.
I feel like that would be a good option for those who aren't really sure about their major yet either, or
Mm-hmm.
like their specialization. But I think about the burnout. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
working like 8 hours, like for 2 weeks, like straight with all this new information, it might get a little bit overwhelming. But I see the concept, I see the vision.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it would definitely like burn
Yeah.
you out, but I think one benefit would be at least you're giving these students their nights and their weekends
Hmm.
because like I can't think of the last time that I had a whole day I didn't work on a class project or let alone think about a class project. Like
Hmm.
every single day, every afternoon, every night, I'm thinking about it cuz my let me pull up my calendar real quick because
Yeah.
it's not like a perfect, I'm always done at 6.
Hmm.
One day I have 9:30 until 11:30, a gap until 3:30, and then borderline 3:30 until 8:30 p.m.
That's crazy.
Another day I only have an 8:30 to 9:30. I literally have a day where I have one class. Follow up, I have a 8:30 up until 6 p.m. with like an hour gap in the middle, so like a lunch. That's the
Hmm.
only normal day, but it's very tiring considering I'm just listening to lectures and I'm doing like one tutorial.
Yeah.
So only at one point do I actually get to think about work that I want to do. Another day is 10:30 up until 4:30, and then one day is 8:30 until 10:30, and that's it. So you
That's,
see how right now it's very like sporadic. It's very like
yeah.
unconventional.
Right. You can't like necessarily like plan things.
No, no, you can't.
But I know in university exams and schoolwork, obviously that's the whole point. You're
Hmm.
there. But what
Hmm.
about like some chill fun time? Like, have you been having enough of that? Like, what have you been up to? What's Braden up to?
He's been a little. cuckoo bananas, if I'm being honest.
Cuckoo bananas.
If I'm being fully honest, there's been a couple nights because I have a group of friends that are much more social, much more like extroverted than I could ever be. Big party guys. I'm an adult, so I can say that I drink, and they drink far more. Um, and we have fun. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
I try to give myself a balance of like they're doing this, but I'm busy. I should stay
Yeah.
home. And like there's one weekend, one of my friends had a insane Saturday, and then he didn't do any schoolwork Sunday because he was essentially spending his Sunday hungover,
Yeah.
which sucked because him and I had a group project together, and he basically didn't work.
Yeah. The whole point of a group project is to be a group.
Exactly, and like
That's crazy.
I get having a hangover the next day, but like
Mm-hmm.
it was literally the whole day. It was one of my most stressful evenings I've ever had, and I hated it.
By like 1 p.m., get your ass up to McDonald's, get a McGriddle and a large Coke, and you'll be cured. You'll be cured of your
And
hangover.
pop an Advil, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you'll be good to go.
Hmm. No, but I think overall it's been fun. Like time outside of school, I've definitely been able to like enjoy it. And I think what's nice is my campus. It's in a very walkable city, so
Hmm.
I'll either go from campus to my buddy's house, then home. I'll go from my home to his place. We'll meet at like a pizza place or like some sort of like restaurant. There's only been one time that we had to drive somewhere to eat, and it was unfortunately like the most mid experience we could imagine.
Ew.
It was a all you can eat spot, and we remember it being like phenomenal, great flavor, like great value, all this stuff. And almost every dish they brought was either like bland, overcooked. The soy sauce was a different brand and it did not taste good. And like at one point there was something like just swimming in oil and grease, and I felt sick eating it.
What?
Oh, it was such a bad experience.
I'm disgusted.
Just listening to that, yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But
Hmm.
that's good that you're having like a good mix of university time and friend time. I think it's important.
Yeah, you
Good
gotta
to
have
have a
fun during
mix.
university.
Oh, yeah.
But you actually got to see the campus recently. I think we got to
I
talk about that.
I did. So I went to visit Braden, my first ever time to Canada, and it was so lovely. I got to see his university, Queen's, which is incredible. I love the architecture. It was
Hmm.
a mix of old buildings and they were doing construction, so there was newer, more modern buildings, which was really cool. I loved how walkable it is. Um,
Right?
I think that's something most people take for granted because here where I live, it is not walkable,
What
like
was
at all.
what's University of Florida like?
I don't know
Like
because
as
I've
like a
never
Google
been on
Maps.
campus except
Oh
for
my god, that's
graduation.
right. I don't get how you just don't go on campus. Like the idea of not being on
I don't
campus
know.
is alien to me. I need to be on campus.
Like my dorm is like my childhood bedroom. Like that was it's pretty
Damn.
much it.
I know there's some universities where it's like they're either so spread out, you just can't get from building to building naturally. Like you need a car or you need to learn the public transit. Me, I've never had to take public transit. There's a lab we had to go to that's far enough that it's either an it's either an inconvenient walk or it is like a $10 Uber ride or grab a ride from a friend of yours. Because some people do bring their cars here. Um, but no, walkable city, love it. Okay, University of
Walkable
Florida
cities are
though.
great.
This seems big already.
It is
I
really
don't know. I can't.
huge.
Stadium. Just this. Just I know that Florida as well. It's very deceiving. Like so many of your
Yeah.
guys's, um, like oh nope nope not directions not
Oh,
directions.
let's go.
Let's
Um,
go.
from what I remember, like when I've driven past UF and from when I like graduated, they have a lot of scooters, like electric scooters, like the ones from the Lizzie McGuire movie. And if I
Nice.
went there, I would have one for sure.
Oh, are these um
The frat houses.
no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Queens doesn't
Hmm.
really do frats.
Really?
No, I think because isn't frats they must be associated with the campus? Isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
If that's the case, I don't think Queens has that. I think it's like they're all independent.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a very interesting thing.
You and your friend should make a frat.
No, one of the guys I know is in a frat, and he
Oh,
just
really?
I'm gonna cut all that out.
Okay.
Anyways, you're on campus. You
Yeah.
also so what is it? You got to experience your first real fall.
Yes, I got to see my first like maple leaf.
Mm-hmm.
I have a special one and it is very cool and I think Braden still has it. I got to see my first ever black squirrel. I live in Florida, so the only squirrels we have are like these gray squirrels and it was really cool to see. Yeah.
It's very dry and very crinkly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks dead.
Well, we'll also put a picture up right here.
And we'll also put a picture of the squirrel. But
And while
no,
we're at it, let's show a photo of the fall leaves.
but no, it was really awesome. Um, and we also got to work on our thumbnails, as Braden mentioned
Mm-hmm.
earlier. That was really awesome. So we kind of took like an hour, and it was like
Yep. It
just
was.
constant photos. And we have a lot of faces, and
We do have
poses,
poses.
poses and faces and poses.
Mhm.
So we have a
Like
variety
like
now.
this one, and also this one, and maybe even this one, or that one, and that and that and that and that. And I'm gonna fucking hate myself for making me do this because I have to edit this afterwards.
And I also got to try a lot of new things that I
Hmm.
like.
A lot of
I got,
Canadian things. Let's make that clear.
yeah, a lot of
First
Canadian
Canadian
things.
stuff.
Yeah. I got to try butter chicken. That is my new favorite food.
Hold on, pause. Nope, not Canadian. Definitely not Canadian.
I know it's not Canadian, but I liked it. That was the first time I had it in Canada.
Yeah, but we
What?
we said Lynn got to try a lot of Canadian things for the first time.
Oh,
And the first statement you say is, I had butter chicken. So, where does butter chicken come from?
not Canada.
That's not Canada. That's India.
Yeah, I know, but I got to try it in Canada. And then I got to have Tim Hortons. I got to try a hot chocolate, which was very delicious. I also got to have a ice cap, which is like a frappuccino, and I also got to try a bagel. And I actually posted about it on our Reddit account for the podcast, and a
We
lot
got
of
flamed for
people,
it.
yeah, were not very happy with what I posted. I said my first ever Tim Hortons, like, loved it.
Let me
And
let me oh, here it is. Here it is.
yeah,
First time at Tim's and it didn't disappoint. And then the comments, we got 93 comments and 4
yeah.
upvotes. Damn. Um what was like the really negative one?
Someone was like, "Oh, why you get an ice cap? Like that's so fattening." It's like,
This one.
well,
Nice try, Tim's employee.
yeah. I was like,
Head office
damn.
for sure. For a
Wish I
sec
had
I
that
thought you were trolling since
salary.
it's mostly Tim's hate here, but I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that's another thing about the Tim Hortons subreddit. So many people are upset about Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to that after you're done talking about your trip up here.
Yeah. But next thing I tried, I'm obsessed with these, and I found out where I can buy them online. But it's like this one specific store, and with shipping, it's gonna be like $40. So I gotta wait until I have like fuck you money. But it's called Turkey Hill Blueberry Maple Hard Candy, and it's so good. And I only have 2 pieces left, so I'm trying to ration. But it is like heaven in a candy. It's so good, and they're shaped like little maple leaves.
Mm-hmm. And then I also was able to get some all natural. some farmers market
Yeah.
maple
Maple
syrup,
sugar?
local in Kingston, and maple sugar
Yeah.
from Kingston. And I bought, it's a very specific guy who's at the farmer's market every year. I was able to get some stuff from him a couple times, which was great. Uh, but yeah, I had to get a bottle so that Lynn could try some real Canadian stuff.
Stuff. I also had poutine, which is very good. I
I have a
loved
photo
it.
of that right here.
Yeah, smokes. I also, what else did I try? Oh, when I was at the airport, I tried a crunchy bar. I
Why do I
really
not know
like
what that
that.
is?
You told me about them. They're
You
called
did?
crunchy, right?
Oh, the
Yeah.
chocolate bar.
Oh
Let
my
me tell
God.
you, this is one of the most slept on candies ever. Crunchy.
That's good.
I'll say this. I kind of get scared that I'm going to break my tooth just because of the
Me
sound it
too.
makes when you go, like when it snaps. I wish they sold bite-sized pieces so you could just pop one in and just.
That'd be so good. I
Oh,
love that.
there's a skinny version so that you're on a
Ooh.
diet.
Oh,
Oh, is this? Oh,
homemade.
that's homemade. That's why.
See, I low-key wish I bought like five more to take home, but I found out at Publix they sell the Australian version, which is called a violet crumble. It's not as good though. I'm definitely a crunchy girl. Yeah,
The
violet
color.
crumble. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'm sorry, but why does the packaging look like a rip-off version of Crunchy?
I know. It wasn't that good.
Damn. Oh, but they
Wasn't a
have the nugget
fan.
version, so why can't you know what a crunchy bite-sized piece would be? It'd be so
What?
similar to like a Malteser.
Ooh, that'd be
Hmm.
good.
Mm.
I also had a maple lollipop that I
Where?
bought. Oh, I bought them for my return home with the
Oh,
blueberry
that's right.
candies.
That's
So I
right.
have one more left. I'm trying to ration that. I also had a lot of all dressed chips on this trip.
I don't think the audio and video watchers, audio listeners and video watchers, they don't know about that.
Okay,
I've gotten Lynn hooked on
they're so good.
all dressed chips from not Miss Vicky's. What is the brand?
Ruffles.
Ruffles, yes.
Yeah. So
Ruffles
they're
all dressed.
basically a
They are not
blend.
bland. How
They are not
dare
bland.
you?
They're a blend of ketchup, salt and vinegar, and barbecue.
Hmm.
And
I
they are
kind of
so
see what
good.
you they don't show it in the picture, but I do see what you mean by barbecue.
Oh.
Maybe it's
Well,
the onion. Maybe it's the onion you're talking about.
maybe. Well, I had the Aldi knockoff versions, and then I was like, I can't wait to go try the real ones. So then I had the real ones in Canada. Yeah, it was
Yeah, you
limited
had these.
amount. Yeah. I think I
See,
have like,
these just they're not the same.
no, I think I have five more bags left or something like that. I bought out like
I
the whole case because they're seasonal.
They're really good.
They're
Like
so good.
we got to do chip tier list next.
Oh my God, yeah. I also, last but not least, I think I had a deep and delicious cake, which was really good. It tasted like pudding. It was very light and fluffy, and I wish I ate more of it now that I'm looking back.
But can you describe to the watchers what is a deep and delicious cake? How do you
Yeah.
store it? How do you buy it? How do you eat it?
You store it in the freezer,
Hmm.
but you have to let it thaw.
Hmm.
And you have to eat the whole thing.
What?
That's what my dad said.
Your dad's not a Canadian. I think he just
Oh,
heard that like
he
online just
probably
because
did.
someone was trying to be funny. Like you can definitely eat this in one sitting. Like
Yeah.
it
What?
is,
Wait, no.
yeah, not by
I
yourself.
Okay, I was gonna say I definitely could not.
Like I think my mom and I did that once.
Oh my God, I
We
love
just
that.
like we had like a small dinner and then we had a late snack and we're like, "Do you want to have a deep and delicious?" And I think we just ate straight from the
Oh my
container.
God.
It's so good. How
It
can you
is
not?
so good. I wish I ate more, but kind of had a
Hmm.
lot of dinner that night, so I didn't.
Hmm. Oh, for the audio
So good.
listeners, a deep and delicious cake is a short, I want to say 1 inch tall uh, cake
Moist
with
chocolate cake.
a very moist chocolate cake. A very rich and very natural icing. Doesn't taste store bought. Doesn't
Hmm.
taste artificial, but it very much is store bought.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely going to hit your sweet tooth. It is definitely something that you will get addicted to if you try it once.
It's almost like a
And
mousse
yeah, I think
for the
that's a good
icing.
description. Yeah, the icing is very mousse like.
Yeah, like whipped
Um,
cream based.
mhm. And my go to is the plain chocolate, but there's also marble, there's vanilla, and I believe there's coconut. And I am noticing a
What's
cookies
that?
and
Cookies
cream
and
version.
cream. I
Isn't
want to
that
try the
exciting?
coconut one. Sounds
Where is the
good.
Well, that says vanilla cake. I could have sworn there
Oh,
was coconut. Well, it comes up as a search, and it is.
that looks delicious.
Are you going loco for cocoa?
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
wait. That's actually my guilty pleasure. I like follow a bunch of like food reviewers on YouTube,
mm-hmm.
and I that guy kind of seemed like my jam there.
You're gonna
Going
search him
loco.
up after this.
Yeah, going loco for cocoa.
Going back though to Tim Horton stuff, just
Mm-hmm.
because you did remind me of this. So yeah, we
Yeah.
made a post and people were just like, "Fake. Tim's isn't good." Um, I unfortunately can say Tim's has gone down in quality as I've gotten older, which is very sad to say.
Oh, that
Because
looks so good.
I know, right? For audio listeners, we're looking at a Boston maple donut. So your classic Boston with a Canadian twist to it. So when I was a kid, Tim Hortons had a very nostalgic kind of view to it. Stop looking at the skibbity toilet thing on the screen.
My skibbity toilet.
I knew that's what you were laughing at. Um, Early 2000 art style. The art style when I was a kid was phenomenal. It
Really?
was like a very like dreamy sequence. It looked like a simpler time to say the least. Like this is what the packaging looked like. The art style was very impressive. And it gave you a sense of like old fashioned. It just kind of like let you relax.
Oh, that's fun.
Mhm.
I love that.
And it used to be just your classic. It used to be Timbits, which is donut holes, donuts, obviously, chili, bread bowls. They had soups, obviously. So very much a lot of Tim stuff was it's cold and I need something to warm up, which was a lot of the foods, which was great. They had some variety where they're like, we have a steak and cheese sandwich, we have a grilled cheese, we have chicken fingers, we have a chicken wrap, we have a
Mm-hmm.
farmer's wrap, we have breakfast wrap, etc., etc. That still made sense. It made sense within what the brand was.
Yeah.
Nowadays, though, the menu makes no sense. They recently are selling pizzas.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember seeing a ad for pizza while we were there.
There's been a lot of stuff about like you order a bagel and there's like the tiniest like smear of it. Uh,
Maggots!
oh, is that what this is? Oh, that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hell no.
Um, there's always the joke I see nowadays of you go to Tim Hortons and the coffee just tastes burnt, which is kind of upsetting because you always see ads about, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people talking about that. I don't know if I'm going to get a bagel. Here's the
Ugh.
pizza though. At no point in my life did I think Tim Hortons would sell pizza.
That's how I feel
And
about Wawa.
we'll get back to that.
Yes.
But the thing is, I did try the pizza from there.
Mm-hmm.
In
Thoughts?
no way, in no way is it terrible, but in no way would I order it again if I had the entire menu of Tim Hortons in front of me. If I get something at Tim's, I typically get an everything bagel toasted with cream cheese, a donut, typically the double chocolate, and then if I'm seriously hungry, I'll get a cheese croissant as well. Typically, that doesn't happen though. Um,
Croissant?
and then if it's cold out, I get a hot chocolate. If it's warm out, I get a peach quencher.
Ooh. Sounds good.
So don't get the pizza. So yeah, it's just Tim Hortons has kind of made their menu like random and just
Mm-hmm.
unnecessary. They've kind of taken away from the classic comfort foods that you would get when you went to Tim Hortons.
Mm-hmm. I think my biggest thing, I remember looking at this with you, it was a Wikipedia list of all Canadian. Was that a
What,
gorilla
the
back
monkey?
there? Yeah.
Who ate fresher food? Ooh,
Oh,
I want to say the
damn.
gorilla.
Yeah, definitely the gorilla. But there's this Wikipedia list of all the Canadian owned and like branded fast food and like food chains. And I want to make it a goal to try every single one.
Oh yeah, because you have a lot on your list of like Lynn wasn't here for a long time. You only had a few days off you could take from work, like for
Yeah,
vacation time.
yeah.
So we made sure to do what we could. So we
Hmm.
did like we walked to see all the fall leaves and like fall weather. You got to wear a jacket for the first time, Florida
Ooh.
girl. Um, what else? So obviously McCain is a Canadian company, so they're deep and
Hmm.
delicious. Ruffles all
Poutine.
dressed. Is Ruffles a Canadian brand?
No, we have Ruffles here. I think the all dressed is Canadian only.
Okay, so all dressed is a Canadian flavor. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what's another Canadian flavor?
Hmm.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. I won't go for it as my go-to, but it's not as bad as you think it sounds like. Cause like, have you ever dipped your Lay's chips in ketchup when you're having a hot dog?
No.
What?
I've never done that.
Have you seen people do that before?
No.
Yeah, me neither. No.
I this is a thing?
It's a thing
I'm
that I've done.
curious.
I've seen people do it. I'm not crazy.
I don't think you're crazy,
I've 100% seen people do it. And I
but I've
do it.
never heard of that.
Just a plain Lay's chip with like the salt, like plain yellow bag, and then
Hmm.
you just like you don't like scoop ketchup into your chip. You do like a smear so that you have like a shallow like film of ketchup on it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I see
And
the vision.
you have that. You have your hot dog with ketchup and pickles, and then you have your watermelon slices.
Wait, you
It's
put pickles on your hot dog?
yeah. I also
Oh.
use a knife to spread my ketchup on my hot dog. Call back.
Throwback.
I wonder if I can do a middle of the YouTube video insert of me of to that video.
I
Click
mean, we've
here.
already, yeah, we've already done like so many points.
Um, yeah, I do sliced up pickles and ketchup.
Oh, okay. I didn't
It's
know
so
that.
good.
I know people put relish.
I
I
think
tr
relish has like a snotty texture. I can't do it.
I tried relish for the first time. Disgusting. I hate bread and butter pickles.
No, that's too much. I do. I have a very
Disgusting.
specific pickle I will only get at the store. You know the joke of you go to Subway and this is your go-to order for the
Yeah,
rest of your life? I have my go-to
pickle brand.
yeah, my go-to pickle brand. Miss Vicky's 50% less salt baby dills
I
every
can't,
time.
I don't, baby pickles freak me out.
They're not tiny. No, baby dills Miss
It's a
Vicky
baby
aren't tiny
dill.
like you think.
I don't like gherkins. I think that's what they are. Oh, is
No,
that a
not baby
Barbie?
dolls.
Wait, there's Barbie. No, go back.
No. Um oh no, it's Bix.
I've never heard of Bix.
Maybe a Canadian brand. No, not Ultimate Garlic.
I don't like those size pickles. They have to be the spears or else I won't eat them.
The Spears.
Yeah, like pickle spears.
The absolute perfect pickle jar. That's a good sized pickle. It's gonna get the right amount of crunch and it's not gonna be really squeaky.
I can't eat pickles like that.
What kind of pickles do you eat?
I have to eat a spear.
Spear pickle?
Yeah,
Spear dill pickles.
yes. I can't eat them whole like that. I love
Oh,
cucumbers too,
you
but
have
I
the
can't.
long sliver kind.
Yeah.
So
This is gonna sound.
you can just slice the ones that I just showed you.
I don't like that. That's too much work. This is gonna sound disgusting. I like to suck like the like the pickle like wait.
Yo.
No, I
Nope,
like
you
to
already
like
said it. You already said it. You already said it.
I like to suck like the pickle like the part that comes off easily and then I bite like the what's left.
Mmm.
Like I don't know, that's like how I eat a pickle, but I could like one time I went to my friend's house and I ate a whole jar by myself.
The audio listeners are going to have a great time listening to you to describe sucking a pickle.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, you have a list of Canadian must tries.
Yeah.
So A&W is not just root beer for those out there.
Yeah.
A&W is a burger place. They have great burgers, if you ask me.
We have one here, but they're really hard to find.
Oh yeah, they're very scarce in
do you have,
place.
do you have Quiznos like everywhere or no?
No, but I there's one near my house. I
We
know
used to have
that.
Quiznos everywhere, and they like went downhill, so now there's no Quiznos. But I remember
Pizza Pizza is a Canadian brand.
we sat outside of one.
We did.
Yeah, why I
Where?
had Tim's.
Oh yeah. Oh, at Union Station.
Yeah.
It took me a sec. And the only reason I know Pizza Pizza is a Canadian brand is because they make a joke about going to Pizza Pizza and Scott Pilgrim, and I was confused why that was such a big thing. And it's like because it's filmed in Canada, it takes place in Toronto, and Pizza Pizza is Canadian. Harvey's, you got to go to.
Okay. Plus,
Harvey's is one of my favorites.
can I say something about the Pizza Pizza logo? There's literally a Canadian leaf in the logo.
Yeah, and there's also a Canadian leaf on the McDonald's here.
Yes. That was fun to
Don't forget
see.
that. Oh,
Beaver
beaver tails.
tails.
For those who don't know what a beaver tail is, take a funnel cake and make it better.
That
So,
looks good.
for the audio listeners, because I'm going to address them because they deserve our respect.
We love you.
For our audio listeners who we respect, imagine you took a pastry substance similar to a funnel cake, but maybe a little thicker, and you had a long oval shape, similar to the shape of a beaver's tail. And you deep fry that. And after you take it out and bang off the oil, you put your choice of toppings on it. So some of the classic ones is just cinnamon shake on it. So it's just that kind of powder. The one I always get is Nutella and banana. It's my favorite.
Ooh.
There's a Score one. I believe Score is a Canadian brand. Reese's Pieces also has one with a Nutella base or a fudge base and then peanut butter drizzle. There's cookies and cream. There's apple cinnamon or apple honey.
I'll take one of each.
I'll take them all.
They
There
look like
used to be.
pizzas.
Oh, here we go. Here's a description: strawberry cheesecake, bananarama, classic, maple, apple pie, coconut vanilla, Score avalanche. There's a lot.
Ooh. I have to say, the one thing I regret not like getting on my trip was not a food item. It is a shirt I saw at the airport, but they only had it in kid sizes.
What
And
was it?
it was the shirt that said Canadian selfie, and it had a moose, it had a beaver, and it had something else. And it was hilarious. But I
I
found
don't.
out the site that sells my candy also
Mhm.
sells one in adult sizes, so I'm gonna have to get one.
Perfect. You can have your Canadian merch for
Yeah.
living in Florida.
Whoop whoop.
I'm also noticing that we're getting close on that hour mark. We're already almost at 50 minutes,
I
and
know.
we have Reddit Roundup. We're bringing that back. I
Oh
think
yeah.
any episode that's like a talking point, kind of like sporadic episode, we're gonna have Reddit Roundup.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Lynn's favorite. Um, it's her favorite thing ever. She
Yeah.
made up the name. I think it's a very classic. It's a
I
very
love
us
it.
name.
It
Um,
is.
we have two political things we want to talk about too. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll speed around that. So first one is the fact that Trump was working at McDonald's. Um, we are not going to make a political comment on him being there or our thoughts on it. The only thing I'll say is it is not something I expected for this year before the election.
It's not my bingo card.
It was not on my bingo card. Um, I do find it a little funny in the context of no president has done this during their campaign, so you
Yeah.
would never expect to see it. There is the thing though I've seen of people speculating it was all what was it? Like
Staged.
fake? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
staged. It was a PR stunt, which I can't see if this was confirmed or denied. I know that the reasoning he did this was Kamala said she worked at McDonald's or something along those lines. So he did this to like show he actually worked at McDonald's. I don't know. Weird thing.
I just like I'm just thinking like, can you imagine like if it wasn't announced like, "Oh, hey, Trump's gonna be working here." Can you just imagine like pulling up? It's like, "Oh man, I have a really bad hangover. Let me go ahead and get my McGriddle and my large Coke." You pull up, all of a sudden Trump's there. Like,
You,
it's like, "Oh my God."
you know what that's like?
What?
I'm gonna sound this is so niche, but do you know the TikTok audio where it's like Peter Griffin voice and it's like, "Holy crap, I'm in Fortnite. This is for
Oh,
real." And then it's
yeah.
like he's walking around, "Holy crap, Donald Trump." And then he just goes, "Hello, Peter. Welcome to Fortnite."
Yeah.
Because I've
You
seen so
don't
many people make that joke about like, "Oh, I'm so hungry." Oh my gosh, is that Donald Trump?
Oh my
Hello, sir.
God.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Walk to McDonald's. But I don't know, I just can't imagine like pulling up to McDonald's and like a celebrity or like a political person is like serving you. I'd be like taken aback. I'd be like, what is going on?
I'd be like, "What is happening
I'd be
today?"
like, what?
On a more crazy note, ballot boxes were like torched. I believe in DC. Um, this one was in Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, someone set fire to boxes,
That's
um,
crazy.
which is I think one of the most illegal things you can do in the states,
Yeah.
or I think just in any country because it's like disrupting political movement
Hmm.
and like you're disrupting the country essentially.
Yeah.
Because how are they going to track down who
All the
voted,
voters.
who got burnt, who's no longer accounted for, who needs to be notified that their ballot doesn't count anymore.
Hmm.
Like it almost makes you think, okay, a digital system is the only way to assure this doesn't happen. But I feel like digital sources are the easiest way to.
Manipulate.
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's crazy. It's like we are in 2024. Maybe they should have like cameras or something like attached to the box where it
hmm
like alerts like if something suspicious or someone suspicious like goes down like
yeah,
to the box. Like if they're like tampering with it for too long, then okay, go ahead and like call the police
yeah.
or like spray ink or something.
Here's a few ideas I have. So one, like you said,
Hmm.
cameras.
Yeah.
That perfectly makes sense. Second idea is two layers, an internal and external layer with a thermal insulation between, so that if
Hmm.
anyone tries to torch it from the outside, the heat just gets like dispersed and absorbed by this like gel or whatever substance. Because
Yeah.
like I know that things that the space like material the spacecrafts are made of at NASA, they're like incredibly good at dissipating heat.
Hmm.
Um, what else? A two key lock where basically someone at the voting poll, like whoever's in charge, would have
Hmm.
one key. And then you know how when banks get their money from like those super safe, secure trucks,
Yeah.
one of those guys pulls up to take the ballot box to be like, it's secure with us.
Right.
Not a bank company, but like that equivalent, and they
Yeah.
have a key, and they need that guy to show up with his key, and then the manager to show up with his own key, and then they unlock it.
Okay, that's like a good idea. See, I think like the thing is because these are drop boxes, they're probably like not manned, which is the bad thing because then they can be like so easily manipulated,
They should just get rid of the drop boxes. Then they should make it an office you have to go to.
like during staffed hours. It's a good
Yeah,
idea.
but then and they could also have volunteer things like uh, the last election Canada had. I was very broke and I needed money in second year, and I volunteered to work somewhere, so I made a couple $100.
Hmm.
And literally, all I did was just make sure that people came in and out of the ballot section or the ballot building like at a reasonable pace, and no one was expressing their political views openly. Because I
Hmm.
think that's something that's like you can't manipulate the view of other people in that
Yeah.
in like a voting area. Uh, but not as bad as burning ballots because
Hmm.
I think
It's
you're
crazy.
destroying it. There's also a ballot box found just sitting in the middle of the road.
It's
Where was this? Because the
random.
other one was, oh, this one was in Florida,
Oh,
middle
makes
of Cutler
sense.
Bay.
Never heard of that before in my life.
Yeah, it's just some guy thankfully had a dash cam and he suddenly noticed this blue box.
This is Instagram only in Dade County. That looks so unofficial though. Like it looks official. Like I see it's an official
No,
thing, but that looks so flimsy.
I think it's official. There's like this has to be real.
Yeah. It definitely looks real, but to me it's just look it looks so fake. You know what I mean? Like it looks so flimsy. I'm like, how is that like official
But I think that's because we expect more
from the
of what,
government?
yeah, of like how they'd maintain the security of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think the scariest part of that video is imagine he didn't have a dash cam. He doesn't have proof of why he has this or saw it.
Right.
And then he goes to the police station. They're like, well, why'd you take this?
Yeah,
And they
I'd
could just
be
question him for hours. And then he'd just be like, no, I found it on the road. It's like, well, do you have proof? It's
mhm,
like, well, do you have proof I stole it? He's like, well, you're in possession of it. And then it's just that weird back and forth of like, I don't have it. You took it. No, I didn't. Da, 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 da.
mhm.
Like, thank God the guy who grabbed it has a dash cam.
Yeah, it's good.
Mhm. I think this episode is going to go over an hour. I think we have to
Yeah.
accept that, and that's
We
okay.
that's okay.
It's it's okay that we have a couple that just go over an hour
Yeah.
because we
So,
need to go to
Reddit
Reddit Roundup.
Roundup. So, for the first one, this one, I just gotta read it because there's no other way to introduce it. Today I fucked up. I gave my boyfriend a back rub in the dark. I'm in a situationship with my on again, off again boyfriend. That just sounds like a situationship, girl. This time we decided to take things slow and be friends. As it turns out, we are best friends and get along great. Yesterday after work, he came by to take care of me because I wasn't feeling well. He made me dinner and we laid in the bed watching TV. Finally
What
started
a
to feel
gentleman.
better, right? Finally started to feel better and asked if he wanted a back rub as a reward for doting on me the last few days. He enthusiastically agreed. I treated myself to new lotion from Bath and Body Works, so I grabbed the bottles and had him smell them to pick his favorite. It was dark. The only light was from the TV. I slathered him with the lotion thick,
Ooh,
because it smelled so good, gave him an amazing back rub, and we both fell asleep. This morning at 6 a.m., he woke up realizing he fell asleep at my place and was late for work. Not wanting to wake me, he got up and threw on clothes in the dark and left. A side note, he is a foreman for a large tree company. He works with a bunch of dudes and they are all manly and will tease each other endlessly. When I
men.
finally woke Men, manly men. When I finally woke up, I was confused because it looked like my hands were covered in gold sparkly paint. I finally figured it out that for some reason the lotion had thick gold glitter in it. I texted to alert him that he was covered in very noticeable glitter, but it was too late. The boys have already noticed. It's 2 hours into his workday and the teasing has only just begun. He has messaged me back that probably makes this official as the crew will never let him live down and I've officially marked my territory. Ooh.
That's so funny.
I
And
mean, that's a
like,
cute story.
I want to know. Yeah, it is very cute that it's like I wouldn't say situationship. Then I think it's just like you
Yeah.
have rough patches and you have good patches, but it seems like good for them.
Yeah. Good for them.
But I find it so funny that what brand of what is it Bath Body Works?
Yeah,
What
Bath and
brand of
Body
Bath and
Works.
Body Works is just like thick gold stuff?
They make it.
Apparently, glotion equals glitter
Glotion.
lotion. There's an image attachment. Ooh,
Ooh.
Platinum by Bath and Body Works.
I just found out I'm allergic to my bath soap and it's from Bath and Body Works. Like every time I use it, I sneeze.
Are you sure it's not just like dust in your bathroom?
No. It's like every time I use the body wash, that's what I meant, body wash, I sneeze. But I
Oh,
have it in lotion form, the scent, I'm fine.
oh, so it's the scent that matters. It's not the lotion that matters.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's like the body wash, it just makes me sneeze like 30 times in a row.
mm-hmm. Um, but yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
funny. I wouldn't say she fucked up. I think she made a
No.
mistake. I want to know. I want a follow up video where it's today I fucked up. I went to work covered in glitter
Yeah. That's
because I
cute
want to know.
though.
I know because I feel like yeah, the guys are gonna haze, but I feel like when guys make fun of one another, we
Yeah.
all are just saying it just to be shitheads. We're not meaning it just to be like direct and be like "fuck you, you're stupid." Like I've never met a guy that's like that who's like a friend. And if
Yeah.
you're on job site, you're not trying to make enemies.
Right.
It's cute.
That's
I
so
actually
cute.
have something to contribute to the Reddit roundup.
Ooh, spill, spill, spill.
It's one of my hypothetical situations that I'm enjoying. You're offered a job as a janitor. It's 12 hours per weekday, and you start off making 10,000. However, your income doubles every year: 10K, 20K, 40K, 80K, and so on. Do you take this job? You be a janitor at a standard office building within comfortable walking distance from where you live. You may choose whatever schedule so long as it is 12 consecutive hours, 5 days a week. Oh, wow. Includes 4 weeks paid vacation, unlimited sick leave, unlimited no deductible full coverage health insurance, and you also get two expensed meals per shift. Each meal can be up to $20 in value. Oh, that's not much nowadays. However, you only get two 15-minute breaks per shift. Okay. Your boss is an okay guy and you won't have problems with him. However, nobody cleans up after themselves, and the often workers do not flush the toilets, after which will lead to pungent smells you'll regularly have to expel. Oh, wow. And then two edits. You will not, under any circumstances, be laid off or furloughed. If you miss more than one shift in a year without legitimately being sick or otherwise incapable of going to work, you will be fired. 10K a year at the start is 12-hour shifts. You would need a
Hmm.
partner to live.
Yeah. I mean, that's rough. 12 hours on your
Mhm.
body as a janitor. It's
But
pretty
how
crazy.
quickly does that money add up? So 10K the first year, and then second year is 20, 40, 80, 160 in the fifth year, 320, 640, 1.2, 2.56. I've lost track.
How would you
You'll
survive on 10K though?
to start.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to live with your parents, or you'd need a partner with like a better income than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because 10K, 10K across. Oh, that's not even $1,000 to begin
Yeah.
per
It's like,
month. Holy. Actually, wait. But then when would you start? Because if you start in 2024 with 10K, you're fucked. If
yeah.
this was 2,000, you're golden.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, there's a lot of missing pieces to this, so I'm gonna have to pass.
You have 2,000 meals paid for at Janitor's. I think the only good thing though is you do get like weeks, a couple, like almost a month off for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You have as many sick leaves as you need. You have health insurance. I would, I would take it if this hypothetical was taking place in like 2000.
Yeah. That makes
That's,
sense.
I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think yours was better. Your TIFU was better than my hypothetical situation.
No. I mean, this one is pretty good, but for me, it's like you have to legit being sick. Sometimes I need a mental health day.
I think that's
Would that
sick.
okay.
You're mentally sick. I'm sick as fuck.
Sick.
Um, do you have some more Reddit roundup for us?
I think I have one more that I'm itching to talk about really
Okay.
bad.
What's it
So
about?
I saw this post about green mac and cheese, and I was like, what is this?
Like
And
Shrek mac and cheese?
it's just green mac and cheese that I found on Reddit, hospital food. Now, today is, sorry to ruin the magic for you all, today's actually Halloween. The day that we're filming this, it's actually Halloween. So this person posted this green mac and cheese on Reddit, and they were like, this is what my hospital is serving me for Halloween. It's like neon green. and it looks like radiated. Like, look
Oh
at
my
that.
god.
That's like neon.
That's like early 2000s slime from
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. What an
Yes.
unappetizing meatloaf too. Oh my god.
Hospital food, I can't. I cannot. But
Is that the hospital? And you're serving
yeah.
them this?
Oh, yeah, they said work today, hospital. So I mean, maybe they're a worker, maybe, but I feel like you get
I
the
think that's
same
worse.
stuff.
You're a
Yeah.
worker and you're served this?
But
Gosh.
ooh, but
Ugh.
it reminded me of something that is coming out that is also green, Wicked. I saw
Hmm.
this on another subreddit a week ago or a week or so ago. It's this mac and cheese
Oh my
from
god.
Walmart.
Blech.
And it's either pink or green. You gotta stir to find out. That looks like bacteria and mold.
Which one's which?
I,
Is that bacteria or is that bacteria?
I think the pink one I could probably handle, even though it looks unappetizing, but the green one, I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
Would you rather have Pepto Bismol or vomit?
Pepto-Bismol.
Huh. That's actually sickening to look at.
Ooh. But why? Not everything needs to be marketed for a movie.
Hmm. You we can't end Reddit roundup like this. Do you have anything else for us, Lindsay?
I do.
Okay.
Sorry it's very food-based, but there's a subreddit called r/stoner food, and I
Mm.
saw this wicked creation that to me doesn't look appetizing, but it looks interesting. It's a banana with
Ooh.
strawberry marshmallow fluff, which I didn't even know was a thing, strawberry marshmallow fluff.
I oh, that looks so fucking good.
Okay,
See, you know what I do?
what?
Like for my stoner food, I
Hmm.
would do the same cut and I'd put Nutella in it and then whipped cream.
Ooh, that
Like
sounds good.
and then I'd keep the
Ooh,
whipped cream can next to me and just
that'd be good. I think this would be good if you put some of that maple sugar on like the outside and like caramelize the bananas, and then you put the marshmallow fluff and like a few chocolate chips or something. That'd be pretty good.
that is a like a campfire thing. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I was in Girl Scouts. I did that.
Okay, go girl. What is it? It's
Ooh.
like
It's like
fire toasted
it's
banana
fire camps or banana split, and
campfire
you
banana
put
split.
a yeah banana, chocolate chips, marshmallows, and then you roast it over the fire in tinfoil.
That's good. Like this, I
Looks
remember
good.
being phenomenal when I was in camp. I want to see what
Looks
r
really
slash
good.
stoner food has in mind because I actually haven't been to the subreddit before.
Oh, I love this subreddit.
Good opener,
Yeah,
very good
appetizers for
opener.
dinner.
Oh my gosh, this is girl dinner.
This
Holy shit!
is girl dinner. Mini
Potato skins,
tacos.
mini tacos. We
I'm
got
hungry now.
cheese triangles. Oh please. We got onion rings. We got chicken wings. Arby's curly fries.
Mmm,
I am such a sucker for Arby's curly fries. It's not
they're
even
so
funny.
good.
What else do we have in this subreddit? Let's do a little scrolling before we hang up. Took 3 dabs in a row and made this. A ton of pasta. This is a dude posting.
Yeah, steak. It's
I
definitely a
made
dude.
I made 5 steaks and a bowl of pasta.
Ooh,
Insane. Started the evening with the intention of making burrito tacos and of a burrito quesadillas. I'm not even mad. That's
that
nothing wrong
looks
with that.
incredible.
It looks beyond appetizing. Poo poo platters? What's poo poo platters?
Oh wait, this is
Oh,
the
this is the guy.
yes, the guy.
Yeah, we got the skins, we got the tacos. I don't know how good microwaved tacos would be.
That doesn't sound good. It sounds like the shell will be like moist.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta commit to eggplant parm.
Oh,
No,
I
you
love
lost
eggplant.
me.
You don't
Ooh,
like
what's
eggplant
this?
parm?
Is this Cheerios mixed with Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah, but it looks like they like mixed it with marshmallow fluff to make a Rice Krispie.
Damn. Sober me got gumbo going so high we could have a hot meal so nice to sober me. Just a crispy chicken quesadilla. Okay, this subreddit's banging. Oh, candied almonds? Hold on.
Oh my god, this makes me hungry. The waffle sandwich.
I could go for some candied almonds.
I love those.
Butter chicken pizza. See? This is what we gotta
Oh,
do.
can we please make that?
We gotta make that.
Oh,
I
it
gotta
looks so
make that.
good.
And then instead of pizza crust, do naan.
Yes.
What kind of cheese? What kind of cheese? Not
I think
cheddar.
ricotta.
Cottage cheese. I
It's like a
actually
sweeter cheese. It's like really good.
sweeter cheese, really?
Yeah. It's used in baking a lot, but I like it in pasta. As weird as that sounds.
Definitely a white cheese. I think any kind
Yeah.
of cheddar would kind of ruin the butter chicken flavor.
Oh my god, now I want to buy ricotta cheese to
So
make
what
pasta.
I think we know what Lynn and I are gonna do after this episode's done filming.
Yeah.
We are going to get high. No, we're not. We're not.
No.
Can you do that in the States or is that illegal?
I don't know.
Is it illegal in Florida? That's the question.
I don't know. I don't partake in anything besides margaritas.
Okay, so Lynn's gonna have a margarita after this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a Dr. Pepper.
I would have one, but I already had one today.
There's nothing wrong with 2 Dr. Peppers in one day. Sponsor us.
Please.
I hope that Liquid IV didn't get annoyed with that shorts that we posted a
Oh
couple
my
weeks
god,
ago.
yeah.
But it
Because
was funny
it
because
was.
I thankfully got from the podcast channel that we use, Riverside. I got a clip of us talking about Liquid IV, and I was like, "This is perfect. This is what I needed."
We love to see it.
But we're well over an hour.
Yep.
We thank you all for watching another episode of the Jungle Hour. We're looking forward to next week.
Yes.
We may be relapsing and doing another Disney episode. We can't stop doing the Disney episodes.
No, never beating the allegations.
We're not.
No.
We're guilty, Your Honor. We hope you enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Give us a follow if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, whatever it may be. We love the support, and always
Stay wild.